Assalamu alaikum. This is Huma Islam, your O levels Islamia teacher. Today's topic is Tauheed, the oneness of Allah. It's from the Articles of Faith, P2, Chapter 4. Now, belief in the oneness of Allah. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha. First, it is the first basic belief. Do we believe in His oneness? This is a question. When we say La ilah, we are saying that there is no one worthy of worship, illa, except for Allah. Now, it's the first basic belief. Everybody should question themselves. Do we really believe in His oneness? Tauheed is from the word wahid, meaning one. Allah, the word Allah means al-ilah, the one worthy of worship. It's the crux, it's the core of Islamic belief. Without this, in fact, you wouldn't even enter into the fold of Islam. So when we say La ilaha illallah, there is no one worthy of worship except for Allah. This is your declaration of faith. It is a condition for one to be Muslim. Worship only Allah. Why? I'll give you 1 minute. It's an activity. Write down one word reasons as to why we should only worship Allah. I want you to stop the YouTube video, pause, take 1 minute and write down the reasons why you think we should only worship Allah alone. So I hope you paused. And well, I've also got my written down things also. Reasons to be worshipped. Why is Allah to be worshipped? Because He is our Rabb, our Lord. What is the meaning of Rabb? He is the one, He is the planner, creator, sustainer, the one who's going to take us to the end, our end, the universe end. He is the master of the Day of Judgment. He is all powerful. He is all knowing. He has no beginning and He has no end. He is all wise. He has no parents. He has no child, no share to His attributes at all. His attributes are His names, His qualitative names. He has no share. Nobody can share His work, and no one can have a share to His kingdom. Now, so many times when we were kids, we usually ask, who created Allah? Okay, Allah created everything, then who created Allah? And then you're told, it's a taboo, you're told, don't ask this question, don't ask this question. And people are stopped. And kids, think maybe they're asking something really, really wrong. So hypothetically, if we, nauzubillah, God forbid, it can never be answered. But suppose we say A created. Then we say, okay, but who created A? Okay, B created A. Okay, but then who created B? Okay, then C created B. But then who created C? So this question would have gone on and on and on as to who created who to created who. So it means that there must have been something that was absolute and never ever created. Because if it was created, then this question would have been, who created it? So there had to be some sort of a being that was always there and never created. And that being is Allah. It's mentioned in Surah Furqan, verse number 2, Allah is the one to whom belongs the kingdom of the heavens and the earth, who has never had any offspring, nor does He have a partner in governing the kingdom. He has created everything, ordaining it precisely. Now, why do we worship Allah alone? Why is He the only one? Because He is the only one, or the creator of the heaven and the earth. He has no offspring. He has no spouse, no partner, no one to help Him in governing the kingdom. When He has created every single thing on earth, then He is the only one to be worshipped. We will worship the Creator and not the creation. No one can be compared to Him. No one. If we compare somebody to Him, it would be doing shirk. As it is stated in the Quran, Allah, there is no God worthy of worship except Him, the ever-living, the all-sustaining. And then again it is mentioned, there is nothing like Him. Laysa kamislihi shay'un. There is nothing like Him, for He alone is the all-hearing, all-seeing. There is no being that can claim to be all-hearing and all-seeing. It is only Allah. Allah has no limits, can do anything. His kingdom is vast and he has no body and no form. Is there any other like him that has no limits? Every single being other than Allah has its limits. And if we say that no one is like him, why? He alone created the universe. It is perfect. You know, the creation of the universe is created by Allah, and this creation is totally perfect. Had there been other gods besides Allah in the heavens or the earth, both realms would have surely been corrupted. So glorified is Allah, Lord of the throne, far above what they claim. What do they claim? In other words, the Meccans claimed of many gods and small goddesses. No disorder in the universe. If we look around in the universe, the sun is obedient to Allah. The moon, I've got that. The moon, the stars, the oceans, they're all subservient to Allah, obedient to Allah. Why is there so much disorder in our worldly life, in man's life, in relations? The only reason why there's so much disorder, the climate change is also because of what man has done. We have not submitted to Allah. We are not obeying His orders. We are not accepting His divine decree. When we go against nature, when we go against Allah's orders, that is when things go wrong in our life. Best creation is mankind. He can excel if he becomes subservient to Allah. Allah has said that Ashraf al-Makhlukat is insan. So the best of His creations is insan. And when mankind bows down to something lesser in creation to himself, does that even make sense? You're always subservient, you're always obedient to someone higher in rank than you. So the highest, when we are Ashraf al-Makhlukat, the best of the creation that Allah ever created. So we're going to worship the Creator. Now Allah is saying, suppose the person's worshipping a tree. Allah is saying that creation is inferior to the creation of mankind. So does it even make sense worshipping that? Now there are different aspects of Tauheed, the different aspects of worship, Tauheed, the oneness of Allah. Tauheed in His worship, Aluhiyat. Tauheed in His worship, in other words, He being the only one worthy of worship. Why? When He created, we can't bow down to anyone else than Him. We can't give a sacrifice for anybody else than Him. We can't do ruku, we can't do dua to anybody else than Him. Tauheed in His lordship, the oneness in His lordship. Rububiyat, Tauheed in Rububiyat. Rububiyat means Him being the Rabb, Him being the Lord, Him being the planner, creator, sustainer, the one who's going to take you to your end. Is there any other being that can claim to have planned your creation, to have created you? Is there anybody who can claim to be providing you sustenance? Is there anyone who can claim to take you to the next life? No. So when He is the only one, He has the authority over all of these aspects, then He is the only one who should be your Lord. Tauheed in His names and attributes, His asma and sifat. Asma are names and sifat are qualitative names, His attributes. Now shirk, if we don't accept if we don't accept His names and His attributes, like He is all-seeing, we can't say that anybody else is all-seeing. He is al-Qadir. We can't say that anybody else is omnipotent like Him. If we do say something like that, then we are committing shirk. It's from the root letters sharaka. Sharaka means share or a partner, associating a partner with Allah. In other words, if we say Allah is all-seer and then we say somebody else also is also, or Allah answers my prayers but somebody else can also answer my prayer. No, that would be associating a partner with Allah. That is shirk. Saying someone else shares His names and attributes, al-Sami, al-Basir, is shirk. Worshipping others than Allah, in other words, bowing down, doing sajda to someone else, even curtsying or giving sacrifice on another being's name, is also shirk. Performing a religious duty for someone else, in other words, fasting for someone else. Suppose you're fasting and you're fasting for someone else. If you're sacrificing for someone else, that is also considered shirk. Showing off in ibadah is also shirk. It's shirk asghar. In other words, you are supposed to be worshipping and your ibadat is supposed to be Allah. And if it's for Allah, Allah sees. You don't need to show off. But you know, when we show off, when we're paying zakat and giving zakat and doing our salah, what do? We are showing off. That means that our salah was not for the Almighty, it was for anybody who is entering the room. These are different forms of shirk. Some people worship the cross. You can see idols, the pyramids. Some people worship Pharaoh. Shirk is an unforgivable sin. إن الله لا يغفر أن يشرك به ويغفر ما دون ذلك لمن يشاء ومن يشرك بالله فقد افترى إثما عظيما. Indeed, Allah does not forgive associating others with Him in worship, but forgives anything else of whoever He wills. And whoever associates others with Allah has indeed committed a grave sin. Now, shirk is an unforgivable sin. The one person who has done shirk will never enter into heaven. And it's very sad that common Muslims in Pakistan, without even knowing it and without even knowing the severity of the sin, are committing shirk. Shirk is opposite of La ilaha illallah. When we say there is no one worthy of worship except for Allah, then worshipping idols, saints, trees, fire, peers, graves, dead, living, the Trinity, this is all negation of La ilaha illallah. Best creation is man. How can he worship something inferior to him? قَالَ أَغَيْرَ اللَّهِ أَبْغِيكُمْ وَهُوَ إِلَهًا وَهُوَ sorry, I can't see this. فَضَّلَكُمْ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. He added, Shall I seek for you a God other than Allah, while He has honored you above the others? Zulman Azim. Shirk is called zulm. Zulm means not giving one's due right. It is only Allah's right to be worshipped. Now, do we perform shirk? We have to analyze ourselves. Analyze yourself. Do we associate partners with Allah? Do we worship idols, graves, people? No, we don't do that. But do we value others greater than Allah? Do we value things greater than Allah? Do we value other people greater than Allah? Do we value ourselves greater than Allah? We give ourselves more value. We follow our own desire, thinkings, and likings. For example, your PlayStation, you're playing on your PlayStation, it says on Allah has ordered each and every Muslim to pray, but you are prioritizing your PlayStation. Sometimes a person is involved in, teenagers, youth are involved in illicit relationships, girlfriend and boyfriend, when Allah has forbidden it. So we love this person, this so-called person who we have a crush on, we are more inclined to them than to incline to the obedience of Allah. Sometimes it's our own nafs, our self-desires, that I don't feel like praying. So you're giving your own feeling more priority than to what you should be giving to Allah. Now, effect of Tauheed on one's life. If one believes totally in the oneness of Allah and believes that He is the only one worthy of worship and He is the only one who I should be obedient to, how does it affect your life? There would be submission to Him, acceptance to His laws, obedience to His orders. You would love Him to a great extent, and due to this love, you would find satisfaction in your life because you don't need to please anybody else. Your whole focus will be on pleasing Allah. You will feel content in your life, be that whatever I'm trying to do, you're struggling for Allah. So it will also give you contentment. You will trust in Allah when you trust, when you believe in Tauheed. You will become brave because it's only Allah that you submit to. And it will also create humbleness. Believing in the magnanimity of Allah makes you realize the inferiority of your own self, so there's no arrogance. You will also become broad-mindedness. In other words, you won't be narrow-minded. You could understand things because you submit to Allah. You would attain piety in your life if you were if your lives were based on Tauheed. And patience, because when you are subservient to Allah, you rely on Allah, Allah also gives you patience. Ummah Islam, thank you so much.